1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The National Command and Operations Centre has decided to reopen all markets and shops till 8 p.m. from Monday. The Interior Minister has commended the nation and the efforts of the Pakistan Army and other concerned institutions for effectively implementing coronavirus SOPs during the Eid holidays. The World Bank has recognized SARS emergency cash as among the top 4 social protection interventions globally in terms of number of people covered. The United Nations Security Council and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation are scheduled to hold separate meetings tomorrow to discuss the Israeli aggression against the unarmed Palestinians. The United Nations Secretary General has called for withdrawal of foreign fighters from Libya. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, occupation authorities have arrested dozens of people, including prominent Hurriyat leader Maulana Sarjan Barkati, for holding anti-Israel and anti-India protests. And now the news in detail. The National Command and Operations Centre has decided to reopen all markets and shops till 8 p.m. from Monday. This was decided during a meeting with the Planning Minister Asad Omar in the chair held in Islamabad today. The forum also decided that all the offices will resume normal working hours from Monday with 50% staff attendance. It decided to restore intercity and intercity transport from tomorrow. Expressing satisfaction over the implementation of standard operating procedures, the forum decided to restore Pakistan Railways operations with 70% occupancy. The National Command and Operations Centre will meet again on Wednesday to review the implementation of coronavirus SOPs. The Interior Minister Sheikh Rashid Ahmed has expressed satisfaction that corona positivity ratio has come down in the country due to compliance to the SOPs during Eid holidays. In a video message today, he commended the efforts of the Pakistan Army, the National Command and Control Centre, the police and other institutions in this regard. He said the nation also acted with responsibility. The Interior Minister said the name of Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz President Muhammad Shahbaz Sharif has not yet been put on the exit control list. He said a summary to this effect is lying with the Federal Cabinet and it is expected to be received by the Interior Ministry either on Monday or Tuesday. He said the Interior and the Law Ministries will take a decision on it in accordance with the law and the Constitution. 83 more deaths due to coronavirus infection and 1,531 new positive cases have been reported in the country. According to statistics issued by the National Command and Operations Centre, 30,248 tests were conducted in the country and the positivity ratio remained 5.06%. The death toll due to the pandemic has now reached 19,419. The World Bank, in its latest report released today, has recognized the SARS emergency cash program among the top 4 social protection interventions globally in terms of number of people covered. In its report titled Global Social Protection Responses to COVID-19, the World Bank says there has been an exponential growth in social protection measures between March 2020 and May 2021, and that a total of 3,333 social protection measures have been planned or implemented in 222 countries or territories. According to the report, Pakistan's SARS program also ranked high among the programs that did well in terms of planned versus actual coverage rates. Pakistan ranks 4th globally in terms of the number of people covered and 3rd globally in terms of percentage of population covered among those that covered over 100 million people. The World Bank further says only select countries have attained impressive 6-digit levels in this regard, and Pakistan's SARS emergency cash program is one of them. The Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, Farrukh Habib, says Prime Minister Imran Khan has proved that nobody can do corruption during his government. In a series of tweets today, he said Prime Minister Imran Khan has set an example in Rawalpindi Ring Road project, in which the fact-finding committee conducted an inquiry and made the report public. He said the matter of land acquisition of 2.5 billion rupees was referred to the National Accountability Bureau. He said there will also be departmental action against the concerned bureaucrats, and the National Accountability Bureau will separately investigate. This is Radio Pakistan. The Chairman, Senate Sadiq Sanjarani, has said Pakistan is focusing on the African countries to promote business linkages. He was talking to the President of the Union of Comoros, Azali Assoumani, in Djibouti. The Chairman, Senate, also stressed the need for raising voice for the oppressed people of the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and Palestine. He said Kashmir and Palestine disputes must be highlighted at all international fora. The Special Representative to the Prime Minister on Religious Harmony, Hafiz Mahmoud Tahir Ashrafi, held a telephonic conversation with Palestine's Qazi Qaza Mahmoud al-Habash and assured that Pakistan stands shoulder to shoulder by the oppressed Palestinian people. Condemning the Israeli atrocities, Maulana Tahir Ashrafi stressed that unity amongst the Muslim Ummah is a must for the resolution of the Palestine issue. He said the Muslim Ummah should fully back the Palestinian people. Mahmoud al-Habash thanked Pakistan and its people for their steadfast support to the Palestinian cause. He said the world community should take urgent steps against the Israeli aggression. In complete disregard to international appeals for a ceasefire, the Israeli forces are continuing barbaric and inhuman airstrikes against the unarmed Palestinians in Gaza and other areas. The Israeli planes renewed airstrikes in Gaza early this morning and destroyed a mosque. Palestinian medics said at least 12 people were martyred in overnight airstrikes throughout Gaza. 10 members of the same family were martyred early this morning in an Israeli airstrike on the western Gaza Strip. According to medics, eight children and 2 women were martyred in a 3-story building in Shatti refugee camp. At least 139 Palestinians, including 40 children and women, have so far been martyred and hundreds injured since Monday. The United Nations Security Council and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation will discuss the worsening violence and atrocities being committed by Israeli forces against the unarmed Palestinians tomorrow. The United Nations Security Council meeting has been proposed by Norway, Tunisia and China and will discuss the situation publicly. Meanwhile, according to a statement of OIC, a virtual meeting of its executive committee at the level of foreign ministers will discuss the Israeli aggression in the Palestinian territory, particularly Al-Quds Al-Sharif and its acts of violence in the vicinity of Al-Aqsa Mosque. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation meeting has been called on the request of Saudi Arabia. Egypt has opened its Rafah border crossing with Gaza today to allow 10 Egyptian ambulances into the Gaza Strip to transport Palestinians seriously wounded in Israeli airstrikes to Egyptian hospitals. The Egyptian Public Health Authority said the leaves are being suspended for some Egyptian doctors and nurses in preparation to receive those coming from the Gaza Strip. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for the withdrawal of foreign fighters from Libya and called an end to violations of the United Nations arms embargo. In a report to the United Nations Security Council, he said the smooth transfer of power in Libya in March to a new interim government of national unity brings renewed hope for the reunification of the country and its institutions and for a lasting peace. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the police arrested around 3 people, including prominent Hurriyat leader Maulana Sarjan Barkati in Srinagar, Pulwama, Kulgam and Shoppian districts. Police during house raids arrested 28 youths in Badshahi Bagh and other areas of Srinagar for holding anti-Israel and anti-India protests. Maulana Sarjan Barkati, the face of pro-freedom and anti-India protests, was also arrested from his residence at Zainapura in Shoppian. On the other hand, the Secretary of the All Parties Hurriyat Conference Human Rights Affairs Arshad Aziz, in a statement issued in Srinagar, sought the immediate intervention by the United Nations Council for Human Rights to stop the genocide in occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And finally, the weather. Mainly hot and dry weather is likely to prevail in most parts of the country during the next 24 hours. However, light rain with wind and thunderstorm with few hailstorms is expected in Upper and South Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, North Balochistan, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk. And you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.